Welcome back to Prison Tasha's channel. So today we're doing a little barbecuing while we're doing our garden tour. So this is the end of May garden tour. So you see Tasha's back there watering plants right now. So this is the end of May garden tour. So we're getting ready to begin. So I think I'm going to start over here as usual with the potato bed. So of course this is where, see Tasha's over here watering plants. Say hey Tasha.
Hey.
So this right here is our potato bed and also our watermelon bed. So we have watermelon on this side. You can see all these watermelon plants here. We have about 10 plus watermelons growing right now. So we have crimson watermelon and we also have sugar baby watermelon in here. So we forgot which ones is which, but as they start to grow, we'll figure that out. So there's like another watermelon there within the potato bed and another one over there as well. And of course there's this lettuce that we still don't know how it started growing back here. Maybe a seed or so got back here when we was putting lettuce somewhere else, but this is definitely a lettuce plant here. So we call it our bonus lettuce plant. And of course you have the potato plants here. So of course once these start to flower, you see this, the flowers are starting to come a little bit. Once it starts to flower and then the plants start to wilt back a little bit, that's when you know it's time to pull the potatoes up. So we buried like 7 potatoes in here over the winter, so that way it can start to break down and grow a little bit. So we have plenty of potatoes over here and we have plenty of watermelon on this side. So continue keeping up with us and seeing how they're coming out. Pretty soon we'll have watermelon. You see how long this vine is here. So we'll have watermelons growing on these vines real soon, and next thing you know, we'll be pulling them off and slicing them open for you guys so you can see what they look like. And if you want to see what our watermelons look like, you can also go to some of our videos from last year. We grew the same watermelons last year in the same bed, and we harvested some and sliced them open last year. So if you're interested in seeing how those came out, feel free to go back to our older videos and check those out. We also pulled up some potatoes too from last season. So we planted the same potatoes, you know, the types that we pulled up. So if you want to see those as well, you can go and see some of my videos from last year as well. And this lettuce over here, we planted a lot of those in this bed over here. So yeah, we're doing a little grilling today, you can see. Matter of fact, let me show you what we got. So yeah, we got some chicken and some ribs, some cut up ribs in here, some chicken breasts, stuff like that. So we're doing a little jerk and a little regular on top. But over here is where we grew the lettuce last year, and we had plenty of lettuce growing. So we don't know how the lettuce got over here, but we're not really complaining. But either way, like we said, it's our bonus lettuce and we're happy that it's there. So this was this is what we call a potato bed. So just keep watching and see how it turns out. So what I want to show you right now though is our peppers. So Tasha's over here watering the potato bed. But what I want to show you here is the peppers that we have. So now we're growing peppers from seed right now. We have a bunch of peppers in the nursery, but they're taking too long. So we decided to go to Lowe's and we bought a bunch of stuff from there. They weren't really that expensive, so it was a pretty good deal. So from the left, we have a jalapeno right here. The one right next to it is our green pepper. This is going to be a sweet bell pepper. And right over here by that one is our snackable red bell peppers. And then we got hot cayenne pepper over here. Right here is another red bell pepper. Right next to that one is a ghost pepper that Tasha wanted to try. And we have a mint in the middle, kind of like a companion plant. And next to that one over here is this is a green bell pepper plant here, and this is a mammoth jalapeno plant in the making here. This is another green bell pepper plant. Next to that one is a serrano hot pepper plant. This is a Santa Fe Grande plant next to that one, and another jalapeno. So we have a bunch of jalapenos. As you can see, we like jalapenos around here. And this is a Thai hot pepper plant. So these are our peppers that we bought recently, and we planted them in our own containers. So continue watching to see how these turn out. they weren't really that much, you know, as far as expenses. But I'm gonna also show you our peppers in our nursery. So over here we have some habanero peppers right here. And right here we have another jalapeno. This is a jalapeno gigantea. So these are peppers that we have in the making. So this is our nursery section here where we put all of our trays and stuff. So, you know, when they come up, it has a natural sun and we don't have to do it inside and have to get it adjusted to the sunlight. It's already pre-adjusted to the sunlight. And over here is our other section. And we have some Anaheim chili peppers coming up here. We just planted these, or we just replanted these in bigger containers just a couple of days ago actually. So these were in a 12 seed tray not too long ago. You can see there's 12 plants here too. So pretty soon these will be in bigger containers and somewhere over there in the pepper section. So Tasha's gonna be watering plants while we're doing our little garden tour. So this grape over here we're gonna start with. This was one of our first grapes that we bought. We call this one our mystery grape. We still don't know where it is yet. And if you want to see what it looks like, you can go to our videos from last season to look. But we're getting ready to have a nice harvest this season, so you can wait for that one also. So if you look in here, there's plenty of grapes being formed all over the place. This one here is probably going to produce the most grapes for us this season. Everywhere you look on this plant, there are little baby grapes everywhere. And so in about a month or so, you'll see them hanging all over the place. There's grapes all up there. There's grapes down here. So pretty soon you will see we'll have grapes hanging everywhere from this mystery grape plant. Right over here in the ground, we buried a Catawba grape. And we actually buried this season, but we bought it last season. And you can see there's plenty of grapes on this one as well. And some of them are bigger than others, but we'll be getting a nice harvest this season from this plant. You can see all these grapes here. Again, this is the Catawba. And over here in the ground is also another Catawba. And this is also looking good as far as the grapes is gonna produce this season for us. And there's some back here as well. Again, we just put these in the ground this season. Over here is our big boy. This one here is another mystery grape, but we think it's a we think this is a muscadine grape plant here. Look how big this grape plant is. This grape plant is about maybe 8 feet tall now. Compared to all the others over here, this is a monster. And you can see there are definitely grapes all over this one too. I mean, there's grapes everywhere, and these ones here are much bigger right now. There's grapes everywhere on this one. So of course, if you check us out in a couple of months, you'll be able to see these at its full potential. But if you want to see some of these grapes again, you can go to some of our older videos and you can see what these grapes look like. But we do think that they are muscadines by the way they tasted last season. And here is an actual labeled muscadine. This is the Carlos muscadine. So this is our newest grape plant here. You can see how small it is, and it's not growing any grapes this season for us, but next season it most likely will. This is the size that all of these plants over here was last year when we bought these plants. These were that size last season, and now look at what these look like now. So by next season, that should be doing its thing. Right behind that one is a Niagara, and you can see what that's looking like. So the Niagara isn't growing any grapes as yet. We did buy that last season, so hopefully next season will be its year for the Niagara. But that's pretty much what we got for the grapes so far though. So we have plenty of grapes. This is definitely, as you can see, the grape section, and we have plenty of grapes. So if you want to see how those are going to turn out, just continue to watch. We'll keep you updated with our garden in this section as well. So tune in. Taking a quick break to check our meat. So we told you we're barbecuing today. So in case you want to see what we were doing, we're doing jerk We're doing jerk ribs and chicken on this side. These are actually ribs, believe it or not. They're just sliced up real small. And then we're doing non-jerk, just regular seasoned chicken and ribs on this side. And up here, we're doing shish kebabs, but we're doing them a different way. Instead of putting them all on the same stick and then having some stuff cooked and some things not cooked, we decided to put everything, all the light things on one stick. That way everything is cooked evenly, and then, you know, we'll go from there. So take a look at what this steak is looking like on this shish kebab. So this is steak right here, guys. But we're getting off topic of the garden. So back to over here is our tomato section, and you can see, so right now we have only 6 tomatoes in this section because we had to buy these from Lowe's already grown. So we're a little behind in this season. But if you look in the nursery, in our nursery section over here is what we started growing earlier in the season. So we have some delicious tomatoes growing here. These are all our baby tomatoes. Here's one more delicious tomato. And then here is our San Marzano tomatoes. There's a couple more San Marzanos in that cup back there. Down here, there's a beefsteak tomato we have popping up down here. This is a pepper. So this is the tomatoes we have in our nursery section. So we do have a lot of tomatoes coming and on the way. But right now, we're just focused on the 6 that's up here. And so we have a Juliet tomato right here. Next to that one is a big beef. Then we have a big boy tomato right here. Another big beef over here. Super sweet 100 right there. And then another, this is over here is a beefsteak. Now there's 3 beefsteaks in here. Actually, you can see there's 3 tomato plants growing out of here. So we got that for that reason. There was 3 in the plant that we bought. We wanted to try that out. So these are the 6 tomato plants that we bought from the store. And like I said, we have a bunch more coming from the nursery. So we have reinforcements coming, guys. So our tomato section will be way bigger than this in about a month or so. So if you want to, you know, stay tuned for that. And if you want to see what our tomatoes looked like last season, you can go check those videos out as well. But you know, continue watching us so you can see how these tomato plants are going to do. Barbecue is coming along pretty good. All right, so now it's time for me to go over our berries. So as you can see here, this is our berry section. So we have berries here, and we also have berries back there behind Tasha. So I'm going to start from the right to the left. So over here is our raspberry section, actually. So we have 3 raspberry plants. We have a fall gold raspberry here, which I actually picked some fall golds earlier because these really do turn like almost of a gold color. So you can see there's one actually right there. It's going to turn more of a gold color maybe by tomorrow. But these are called the fall gold for a reason. They are really, really delicious. Right next to that one, we have some red raspberry. So this is the Carolina Everbearing. You can see what that's looking like there. We picked some of those yesterday as well. So there was more berries on these 2 plants yesterday. But we did a little harvesting yesterday and got a little greedy. So they look a little bare right now, but we would have more eventually. Right next to that one, Tasha's trying to wet me up right now. Right next to that one is the Glencoe raspberry. And you can see this one here is actually fruiting a whole lot more than the other raspberries. It just hasn't given us any ripe ones as of yet. But by the way they're looking, I'll say another 5 to 6 days. And we should be eating off of that plant as well. Now, when you pass those 3, then we get to the blueberry section. So we have 7 blueberry plants. So we have 6 blueberry plants in total. So let's start from the one in the back here. So you can see this is one of our biggest ones. You see plenty of berries on here too. So this is a southern high bush blueberry plant here. So of course they're not blue yet, They'll be turning blue real soon, and then it'll be time to eat on these. Um, right next to it is the legacy blueberry, and this one has even more berries on it. You can see between these two plants here, there are plenty of berries. And right in front of it, we have our pink lemonade blueberries. So this one here, this plant hasn't really started showing our blueberries yet, but this one over here is also a pink lemonade, and that one has blueberries on it, but it's just not as much as the ones that we saw earlier. But so the pink lemonades, for some reason, the plants are doing well, but they're not producing as much fruit. And these blueberries over here is like our third biggest blueberry plant, and you can see that's doing okay as well. So this is probably our it's our third biggest plant, and it's also our third most producing plant as well, right behind the southern high bush and the legacy. And our final blueberry plant here is the emerald blueberries, and they're called emeralds because they have really small blueberries on there, and they grow in bunches. So you can see how many are on one branch. Look at these blueberries here. They grow only about half the size of a regular raspberry. So what you're looking at now are the full sizes. It just has to start, ripening real soon. So you will see, if you keep watching and keep up with our videos, you will see what these end up looking like in a couple of weeks. So again, this is our blueberry section. And if you walk over here with me, this is our blackberry section. So we have two Natchez blackberries, two Ponca blackberries, one sweetie pie, and we have some mulberry over here. So the one Tasha's watering right there is the Ponca, and this is actually a Ponca as well. So these two in the white containers are Ponca blackberry. This one here and that one over there are the Natchez blackberries. The one over here, this is the one we just got actually this season. That's the sweetie pie blackberry. We haven't tried that one yet. And over there is the mulberry we got this season. So these here we had from last season. They made it through the winter pretty good. Those two we got this season. So that gives us 5 blackberry plants overall and 1 mulberry plant. So this is our berry section. So this over here is where we sit when we're sowing our seeds and things like that. And we hang out and just enjoy the garden. And so we have our hibiscus we just got this season as well. So hopefully, these can make it through the winter in Virginia, and we continue to have the hibiscus every season. Now these aren't berries, but we did get these this year. So these are 2 kiwi plants. These are 2 fuzzy kiwi plants that we got this season. They're both female though. So we're currently in search for a male plant. We can't find one. So if you have any connections, let us know in the comment section. We do need a male kiwi plant, but that really takes care of most of the berries that we have here. Okay, so now it's time for me to show you the cucumber section. I'm trying to keep Tasha company as she's watering these, so I'm trying to follow her. She thinks I'm following her, but it may just be a coincidence. This is our muncher cucumbers here. We planted these last month, the 7th of last month. Yep, right there. We planted those the 7th of last month. So this is maybe like 5, almost 6 weeks old. And you can see we got them going up this trellis here. We also got some other cucumbers growing. We have these cucumbers over here in this tray. So these are our straight 8 cucumbers. So they're coming up next in line. We're actually going to put them over here. You can see we have a trellis system over here. So we're going to put the cucumbers, the pots down here on the ground, and it's going to grow upwards on top of this trellis here. So that's going to be the destination for those straight 8 cucumbers. And over here in the nursery section, we have our national pickling cucumbers that's coming up as well. So those are also going to be down here. So we're going to have the straight ace on this side, and we're going to have the national pickling on this side. And so, of course, we're going to have the cucumber munchers right down here in Tasha's favorite section. So we did it like this so they can grow up these sticks. And right over here, in case you thought we were done, we have some more cucumbers in the ground. So these actually came out of this bed here. We have cucumbers planted only on this side, so it can go up this trellis here that we built last season as well. So these are bush champion cucumbers, and you can see they're definitely growing. We need to fill one in right there. But that's how our cucumbers are doing. So you can see we have plenty of cucumbers, guys. So cucumbers here, cucumbers over there, and cucumbers coming up in the nursery over there. So if you wanted to see how our cucumbers turn out, especially because we got 4 different types of cucumbers growing this season, then just tune in, keep up with our videos. But we also grew some of these last season too. So if you want to see what the munchers look like, you want to see what the national pickling look like, then you can go and look at our videos from last season, and you can check those out. Or you can just continue watching these and following these to see how these turn out. All right, so now is my favorite part of the tour. We're gonna do our trees. So we have trees all over the backyard. We have 14 trees total. They're just not that big, so it's really not that noticeable. So right here, we have a peach tree. This is one of our peaches. This is a Bella Georgia peach, and it's definitely growing peaches. You can see it's not as much as some of our other peach trees, but there are plenty of peaches here to go around. So we're gonna see how this tree is going. This is one of the trees that we had from last season, by the way. We had 2 peach trees last season and we bought 2 this season. So this is definitely one of the ones that we bought from last season. So another one from last season is this one right here. So this peach tree we bought last season as well. It's actually taller than the one we just showed, and it actually has a whole lot more peaches. If you look in here, there's peaches pretty much everywhere on this one here, and they're a nice size too, so they're getting up there. So again, this is one of our Bella Georgia peaches. So the 2 that we got last season was both Bella Georgia. So this one and the one right down there are Bella Georgia peaches. Now we do have 2 more peach trees that we got. So these 2 we actually got this season though. This one here is our Alberta peach. Now this one here is probably about my height. You can see it's probably about a good 6 foot, maybe 6.5 feet tall. And then you got peaches on this one as well, but not that many. I can actually count these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 that I can count. So it's not doing nearly as good as the other ones, but this is a younger tree. It's smaller, and we got it this season and just put it in the ground. The one right over here that Tasha just watered is another peach tree. This is the contender peach right here. So this peach tree here, it's actually growing less than the one we just showed. I see 1 peach so far. I lost it already. There it is. So I see 1 peach. That's 2 actually. So there's 2 peaches on this tree. There may be one hiding or something, but it's got even less than the one over there. Oh, there is 3. So, boom, there it is. So there's 3 peaches on this tree. So it's pretty much matching the one over there, or trying to match the one over there, close to it. So this is a contender peach that we planted this season and bought this season. So that's also why this one doesn't have as much peaches as the other 2. Right over here by the potato bed is our Methley plum tree. This is our second tallest tree that we have, and it actually had the most fruit on it, but early in the season it was in the pot, and we decided to put it in the ground, and the bottom of the pot gave out and it started to root into the ground. So when we moved it, we had to tear the root, and that killed all of the fruit that was growing on there. So the tree is still good, but if you can see, this is what the fruit looks like now. It was nice and green, now it's all dried up. So the tree itself is good. So hopefully next season it will do the same thing it did and try to give us a lot of fruit, and we can continue from there. But right now this isn't going to give us any fruit this season. Right down from that is another plum tree. So this is the Burbank plum. This one we actually got this season, and this has 0 plums on it growing right now. So we won't get any plums from this tree this season, but something tells me next season it's gonna explode. So continue watching to see what this plum tree is gonna do. And over here by our lettuce bed is our Bruce plum, and this here also doesn't have anything on it. Again, we got this one this season as well, so that's one reason why it's not doing so well. It's still young, and we just put this one into the ground, so hopefully next season we'll get plenty more fruit. So we're still cooking over here. Let's check on our barbecue and see what we got. Okay. Right behind the Bruce plum and the grill, we have another tree over here. So this is a plum tree as well. This is our All Rosa plum. So this is our last and 4th plum tree. So the top isn't doing so well, but the bottom is still doing pretty nice. Now this one we actually had last season as well. So I don't know why this one isn't doing as good, but it is growing plums. It's our only plum tree that actually has plums out of the 4 plum trees. So it's got 1 plum here, and it has 1 plum here on the back. So it has 2 plums on this tree, which is about the same amount it gave us last season as well. So hopefully next season, this thing here, since we just put it in the ground this season, hopefully next season it takes off. So out of the 4 plum trees that we have, only 1 of them are growing plums this season for us. And it's the All Rosa plum right here. And it's only growing 2 at that. Now we do have more trees. Like I said, it's 14 trees, and I only showed you 8 so far. So if you follow me over here, I can show you our Fiji apple tree. So this is actually our tallest tree right now. This is the only tree that we decided to put in its own box like this. We made this box specifically for this tree. It's kind of an experiment. We want to see how it was gonna do. We're actually trying to dwarf it, so we're trying to see how much success we'll have with it. Now this tree, for it being our biggest tree, it is a little bit of a disappointment because it only has 1 apple growing right there. So again, hopefully next season will be when this tree decides to take off. It's got a lot of pollinators around here. It's got a lot of other apple trees as well, so it's definitely no reason why this tree shouldn't have more apples. Over here is our other apple trees. We have 2 over here actually. So this is a Gala apple tree. It has yet to be planted in the ground, but we have plans of planting it soon. This one, for one not being in the ground, actually has plenty of apples on it. So the one that's actually planted well has no apples, but the one that's in the container has plenty of apples. So that means that this is a real good tree. So whenever we put this in the ground, it should do really well for us. Right next to that one here in a bigger container is our Dorset apple. So this one here, so you can see this is more of a green apple. You can see right there, we paid $32 for this tree last season. And this one here also has apples actually. So the ones in these containers actually aren't doing so bad. And then right next to those, we have 2 pear trees. So we have 2 pear trees here. So this one here is an Ayer pear, and it has some pears growing, but not a lot. And the one right next to it is an Oriental Southern Living pear. That one actually doesn't have any pears growing yet. So we do have these 2 pear trees. They also need to be put in the ground. So that's 13 trees that I showed you so far, and that leaves 1 tree. So that tree is located over here. This is our 14th tree, and this is our 4th apple tree. So this is the Cameo apple tree here. Look at that apple right there, and there's another one right behind it up there. It's a baby one there. So it has a few apples on here, but most of them are in the higher branches. So most of our trees, as you can see, are producing fruit, even though they're not full size or even teenage yet. So these trees are doing really, really well. So keep watching us to keep up with our trees and see how our fruits are gonna go.